So, event towers. Pretty sure you've all heard of them. They're a special type of towers that are only obtainable through a limited time. And in the past year, we have gotten 3 new event towers. Nice. Not only that, some towers have gone through some changes, especially the freeze towers. But anyways, let me ask you guys a question. Have you ever wondered how these towers would fare against Fallen mode? That's right. In this video, we're gonna be playing through Fallen mode with only using event towers. We're gonna be starting off with this loadout that someone suggested in my community post. Archer, Swarmer, Commando, Slasher, and Executioner? Yeah, I'm not so sure about using this loadout. I used it anyways. So here's how it went. I started the game off by placing Slashers since it's the cheapest one in my loadout.
But wait, isn't Swarmer the cheapest one in your loadout?
Heck nah, there's no way I'm using Swarmer. Oh wait, that might be a great idea actually, but we'll get to that later. The Slashers dealt with the first few waves pretty nicely. Obviously the Gladiator is way better, but this is pretty decent. On wave 13, I started placing down my Executioners for dealing with the crowds. And to my surprise, everything was going pretty good. Yeah, it was actually going pretty smooth, except for the giant bosses. They struggled on it for a bit, but yeah. Well, it was until wave 24 came. Oh, hell nah, not you, bro. Well, looks like this is it. No! Yeah, I lost to the Shadow Boss. I probably could have killed it if I placed Archers instead of Executioners. But anyways, let's see what happens if I use Swarmers instead of Slashers for early game. Okay, alright, okay. That's a lot of leaking right there. Are you serious right now, bro? Yeah, I'm never using Swarmer again. Before we move on to our next loadout, I just want to see how far this loadout can truly go. So I hopped back in and tried again. Remember how we died to the Shadow Boss? Well, originally, my plan to avoid this was to place Archers instead of Executioners. But as I tried to do that, I realized that Archers are kinda unreliable. So I thought of another idea. Instead of focusing on Archers, I placed my focus onto the Executioners. If you didn't know, the Executioner actually gets hidden detection on level 4. And just like that, we managed to beat the Shadow Boss. Woohoo! But despite that, I still died to the tank boss. These towers just don't have enough DPS to take it down.
But wait, why don't you use Commando?
Well, there's a huge reason why. It is just way too expensive for what it has to offer. It's just simply not worth it. But anyways, it's time to move to our second loadout, which is Necromancer, Toxic Gunner, Farm, Executioner, and Gladiator. I hopped on the same map and here's how it went. For the first few waves, I placed down 3 Gladiators. Same thing with what I did with the Slashers, except I brought Farm with me this time. And yeah, it's no doubt that Gladiator can easily clear early game. They handled the first 22 waves on their own. And on wave 23, I started placing down my Necromancers. And what can I say about this tower? This tower is literally the MVP of this challenge. And I think it actually carried the game. After maxing out all 3 of my Necromancers, I started placing my remaining towers just to squeeze in a bit more DPS, and just like that, we have reached the final wave, where we'll finally face the Fallen King. Now, for this part, I timed the Necromancer's summon ability so that the splash damage from the gravestone can hit the Fallen King. But despite my efforts, I only managed to get the Fallen King's health down to 61k before dying. This is probably the farthest I've gone with only event towers. And some supports as well. I'm not sure if there's a loadout that can do better than this, but yeah, like and subscribe, see ya.